And we're live. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Four Quarters. All sports, every day, all day. And she's a babe. I really got to stop talking about Aaron Rodgers.
My money's on that.
And to no surprise, my shout out, Caitlin Clark.
We're live.
And
Solid.
Troy Polamalu is not in the building.
He is not in the studio today.
No, welcome into, and we're sorry we're late, but we really were having computer technical difficulties. I guess we've been having them for a few days, but CB has come to the rescue, as she always does. So thank you, CB. So I do think we're live on Four Quarters Facebook page. No, I'm getting nothing.
Wait, CB, hi. Sorry.
Are we live on Four Quarters Facebook page?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we are.
And we might be on YouTube, we might not be, but the important thing is that we are on
We might be on one for a minute.
our Facebook page. So welcome in. Welcome in to April 16th, and instead of sunshine, we have snow.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday I was in shorts and
Jen
t-shirt.
says we are.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Jen.
Thanks, Jen.
Thank you, Jen.
But like, only in Vermont.
Yeah.
I ran the dogs in shorts yesterday, and today it's snowing.
I wish my mother was here because she'd be like, I tell you every year, honey, in April it's going to snow.
Mm-hmm.
Don't take your winter tires off. If you're planning a trip, she would just go on, and I miss those April snow stories. We're gonna go your way. You have a shout out.
I think I
have a
one.
shout out?
I mean, there's a lot of pressure to always have a Caitlin Clark shout out.
Then don't have them.
Whoa. Wow, you do not get the buzzer today.
I want to see what she just put up on the
You
screen.
are literally Karen Safford right now. Did Karen tell you to do that to me today?
Well, it is exactly 1 month until the WNBA starts, so we can wait till then.
I actually have one.
Okay, go. Okay, go.
Okay.
Spoke too soon.
Yeah, you guys, see? So really it's a shout out to both her and Paige Beckers. So, obviously they're going to play against each other. Tickets to their game, they already have like prices rolling out. Just to get like the lowest ticket price is $255.
20,000 seats, right?
Yep. Courtside seats, $5,000 a piece.
Holy shit.
In case anyone has some extra cash to
I
spend
have
around.
other WNBA players I'd rather see and not pay that price. And I'm being very,
The
very
side eye
honest.
you're getting. The side eye you're getting.
I mean, the whole WNBA and the growth of the
understand what's happening
WNBA, and we're talking about Paige Beckers and Caitlin Clark.
It's because they have the college history.
Okay, all right.
I feel a sense of you are not loving my Caitlin Clark.
No,
look
I'm going to
today.
shut up.
You're not loving it, are you?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know what would give you that impression, Wheels.
Like I just don't get it. Anyways, and then the other shout out is ABC's first opening weekend matchup is going to be the Chicago Sky versus Indiana Fever, which is going to be awesome because Haley Van Lith and Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be awesome.
That's going to be good. But did you see, so the first, that week is going to be Rivals Week, but
Yeah.
did you see all of the lineups? I was like, since when are they rivals?
Right. And they're only rivals because of college
Right.
stuff that happened in college.
Right.
So, but yeah, I mean, overall, I thought the WNBA draft went as predicted, kind of. I know we're going to talk more about that. But
that will be our last quarter tonight. We've got a whole bunch of grades for the WNBA draft as well. No dog tonight.
No, I got distracted by the computer problem solving.
Okay. Any shout outs?
I do. Thanks for Karen for the reminder. We couldn't put the picture up, Karen, but congrats to the WNBA GMs for setting the standard in professional sports and not bringing an alleged abuser into the league. Men's leagues, please follow suit. And also, not only that, shout out to Ryan Rucco, who during the draft, they put a image up, and he specifically laid it all out. not only
Yes.
her injuries and her age, which he did mention, but the fact that 4 different women have accused her of domestic violence over the last
Wow.
so many
Yeah.
years, right? And so
I did not know that.
he clarified that she hasn't been brought up on charges
Yeah.
or anything like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But it is an issue that the GMs are considering, obviously, because she didn't get drafted. And good for them for not hiding
Right.
and having that be part of the decision. So just shout out to Ryan Rucco, shout out to the GMs for talking about it
Yeah.
and saying that this is not going to be tolerated
Yep.
or accepted. Raylene says, "Girls rule, CB for the win."
Exactly, Raylene.
Asians for the win.
Asians for the win.
Asians for the win.
So,
Lori still gets so uncomfortable when I make Asian jokes.
well, you did it all the time at work, and
Yep.
Nancy and I would crawl under a rock.
Yep.
Or crawl under our desk, shall I say. Instagram followers. I'm going to say 5 names, and you tell me who you think has the most Instagram followers.
Okay.
Okay? We've got 5 of them, so let me finish all 5. Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, Paige Beckers, Sabrina Inescu, and Asia Wilson.
Angel.
Angel Reese? 4.8 million, indeed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because she's more active on social.
Correct. She's super active on
She has,
Instagram.
yeah, she's super active. The other ones, like, they just don't post a lot.
Asia Wilson and Sabrina Inescu are pulling up the caboose really bad, so
Yeah.
they must
Yeah.
not. They're 1.3, 1.4.
Different
Caitlin
generation.
I was
Clark-
gonna say, as
They're different
even
generation.
though it's only like 5 years. Definitely generational.
Yeah, for sure.
Clark is second with 3.1, and then
Yeah.
Paige has 2.3.
Not surprised at all that
Yeah.
Angel Reese is number 1.
Me either.
Well, and she will be the most improved player in the WNBA per
Dude.
what you think and what you have seen in
I
Unrivaled.
mean, when Lisa Leslie is giving you
Wow.
pointers,
Right?
and like she showed a lot of improvement during Unrivaled.
Yeah.
Just because like my biggest frustration was she gets all of these offensive rebounds and then she's
Right.
just chucking them
Chucks
back
it up
up.
there.
And I'm
Sure.
like, just take a second.
Yeah.
And so she had much softer hands. So I'm excited to see what she brings this
And
year.
that's the first thing. It's the hands and then the footwork.
Yep.
But it's the hands because, well,
Yeah,
if you don't
'cause
catch
she's-
the basketball, what's the point?
Yeah, because she's got her footwork isn't. I don't have an issue with her footwork. It's just her chucking them up all the time.
Yeah.
My shout out, my first shout out, and the most important shout out goes to our occupational therapist, Nina Otter. Ding, 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 ding. And Elisa Otter as well, her twin sister. So when CB gets the pictures up, none of us can tell you which one is Elisa and which one is Nina because they are identical twins. And CB, you know Nina just as well as I. Very modest, very humble.
The best.
She just competed in the Mad Triathlon this past weekend, her and her sister. Sister came in first.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Now, you can do a team of
Damn.
4, you can do a team of 2, or you can do the whole entire thing all by yourself. The Otter sisters did the whole thing all by themselves. And when I say
I mean,
all by
who would
themselves,
have known if they didn't?
Are they sure?
the first leg is a 6-mile run.
Nope.
None of us here
She's
can even
out.
do
She's
that.
done.
I'm done. I'm done.
She's already done.
I'm done.
Stevie's like, no.
Leg number
tag.
2, as you're looking at the pictures, is a 6-mile paddle in very cold weather with a little bit of movement behind that
The
too.
water thing that's a no for me on that one.
Leg number
That's a no.
3 is a 10-mile bike ride.
Okay,
So,
doable.
6-mile
I won't
run.
love it,
Doable.
but it's doable.
None of you could do this after your 6-mile run.
Oh, hell
I'm
no,
going to
no.
be transparent.
I can't-
I know I couldn't even do the 6-mile run.
Exactly. I can't even do a
Boom.
6-mile run.
And the last leg is a skin to ski, 2 miles. So skin on the bottom of your skis and you hike up the mountain. Take the skin off and you ski down the mountain. 1 mile up, 1 mile down. And those pictures are pretty freaking amazing. And as modest as could be when I said to her, well, did you do a certain leg? And she's like, well, I did the whole thing. And I looked at Kate Gaylord and I'm like, all I could do is a 10-mile bike.
Yeah.
Ju-
Yeah, pretty much.
I could try the paddle.
I could do the paddle. I
I
do the
think I
paddle.
could, but I'm not going to give myself that much.
Also,
Not-
shout
not.
out because it's OT month.
Yes.
Oh, right.
Shout out to.
How come no one
shout
has
out
said
to the
that at work
OTs.
yet?
I don't know, but shout
I don't
out to
know.
the OTs.
You know what I found out at work on Friday? We now have 22 exam rooms instead of 12.
Damn.
16, 14. And I watched a guy putting the signs up. I think it was 22.
Damn.
CB, you should come take a tour of the place.
I should. Yeah.
So that is my big shout out. Best thing I saw is this picture that CB is going to put up of Paige Beckers and Haley Van Lith. And I have no clue what the F these two are thinking. But this is during draft time. And they look like they're both miserable. Especially HVL.
I thought that there was an inside joke to this photo that I didn't know about because you sent
Yes.
it, and I
Are
was like,
they-
I don't get it.
Because
And they asked Haley Van Lith
Yeah.
the night of the draft when they were doing rapid fire
Yeah.
what was going on. She literally hadn't seen the picture yet.
Yeah.
Doesn't remember what she was thinking. Has no clue why she looks freaking miserable.
Yo, I would
both
be
look-
out. Yeah, they both
Freaking
look
miserable.
I saw another picture, and I wonder if it's this. They were just literally like, because they were what? Did they take them up on the Empire State
Yeah.
Building?
Yeah.
And so they like walked to the edge and like looked down, or Paige walked to the edge and looked down, and she was like, nope. so I wonder if it was just like, I don't
Maybe
know.
Haley Van Lith got sick to her stomach because
Yeah.
she looked down.
Yeah.
I've never seen a face like that, and I've seen a lot of RBF faces in my lifetime.
New me. Oh, I should see if I could. Yeah, that should be a new reaction gif.
Right? Right?
Yep.
So that was the best thing I saw, and great job covering the WNBA draft, which we will get to as well. The next thing is all I want to do is talk about the Masters. Name of the show is all about the fit, because I had to put that as the title, because if Rebecca Lobo didn't say it 100 times Monday
Yep.
night, then
Yep.
it was 99 times that she said it,
Yep.
and she's right on.
Absolutely. I mean, we see it all the time too.
Oh, yeah.
So then I turned on NFL Live the next day, and all Dan Orlovsky could talk about is about the fit.
Yeah.
It's all about the fit. It's all about the fit. So that is definitely the name of the show. But I hope my sister is listening, because I had challenged Wheels and CB last Wednesday to either watch a NASCAR race, which I knew they weren't going to, or to literally try to tune in to the Masters, which I don't want to speak for either one of them, but it sounds like neither one of them watched the Masters.
I don't even know what I did this weekend.
Okay.
I learned how to play Texas Hold'em like
Oh
a
yeah,
boss.
we played poker this weekend.
We did play poker this weekend.
So,
You killed it.
right?
You killed
Pretty
it.
good for our first time. Pretty good. So
So who won?
You won.
Yep.
Yay me! I never win at Texas Hold'em. Never do I win at Texas Hold'em. The Masters was probably, I don't think I've ever missed a Masters, and I actually really enjoyed watching the Sunday Masters with my mom. That was a definite. I had a dinner to get to, so I could only watch up until the fifth hole, and then I was asking my sister what was going on, because we actually are big Rory McIlroy fans. We thought we were going to see him at the Travelers last year, but he didn't make it, and he usually chokes. I mean, he doesn't choke. I mean, he was going after the Grand Slam of golf, but he just struggled at the U.S. Open, struggles. The Masters is the one thing he hasn't gotten yet. So when you turn it on, and Justin Rose led Thursday, Justin Rose led Friday, Rory took over on Saturday. He had a 2-shot lead over Bryson DeChambeau. So when you turn it on and it's the second hole, 2-shot lead going in. I want you guys to get this with me. And I turn it on and he's on hole 2. So that means he's only shot 1 hole. And it's tied. That means you double bogeyed hole number 1. A double bogey is really, really bad, in case you guys aren't into golf. Double bogeying, it's a par. Every hole's a par.
Two over, right?
So if you don't par, then it's a bogey, then it's a double
Yep.
bogey. So he had double bogeyed. So what does that tell you guys about where Rory McIlroy's day was going to go? You double bogey hole number 1.
To shit.
Literally to shit.
Yep.
And that's all everybody was thinking. And
we go
DeChambeau
again?
beat him in the U.S. Open last year. So already you think it's a head case. I'm like, oh, he can't. He's paired with DeChambeau. For those of us who think we're athletes, we're not, unless
No.
we play 18 holes of golf. We literally are not, because
I'm like,
if you
That's a sentence. That is a sentence. That should have been your the bit at the end where you try and rile us up.
yeah.
Anyway, continue.
If you could have seen the look, see me in the
it's really hard for me to talk to you two because you didn't watch it,
Should I go sit in the car?
and it's
no.
real shit, you guys.
No, I know.
It's
I know.
real. It's raw. It's emotion.
Yeah. Hold on, let me put the picture. I put the pictures up.
Please do.
Yep, I am. Right.
And at this point,
I am
I'm
right
just
now.
going to have my sister call in, somebody who really wants to talk about one of the most important things in sports. It is the most important thing in golf.
Yes.
And if we think going 0 for 4 on a softball field or missing our first 10 shots in a basketball game is tough, you're fucking wrong.
It's
you're not
incredibly-
even close.
It's incredibly mental.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, I would go on and on, but I've lost these two, and it's really too bad because
We're being assholes. We
You
apologize.
guys really kind of are.
We
if you want the
apologize.
truth. The gentleman on ESPN last night said, "I love everything about this," because he's really into sports. He's not just into, two sports
Right.
like we like to talk about here. So when he said, "I love everything about this," I thought, you're so right. It was the best display of mental toughness I've ever seen on a sports surface. I know people listening will understand. I know these guys don't understand, but it's a huge resiliency because you're going for 4 hours, you're sweating your freaking ass off, you're trying to drink a protein shake between holes, you're walking the whole entire 18 holes, and none of us here would even last 9 holes, not to mention 3 holes.
Definitely would not.
So if
walking
you
in.
are listening
not.
and you understand what went wrong and what Justin Rose did and what Rory McIlroy did,
He didn't let the demons get him.
it was a grand slam complete for the ages, and my tip of the hat to Rory McIlroy, because that to me was the toughest thing I've seen in my 59 years of existence. So we will move away from the Masters now, seeing as nobody here wants to talk about it, and we'll go on to the portal, because I guess that would spike your interest a little bit more, talking about the portal. So lay it on me,
Although
guys.
we all get mad at the portal.
Karen says Rory killed it, and kudos to Rose and Lowry for truly celebrating Rory's success.
Again, if you didn't watch it, you're not going to understand anything that I'm saying right now. So we'll move on to the portal, where it has definitely gone out of control, and it's turned into bullshit. And I will read
Stupid.
you some of the things. I
stupid.
think Dejanay was talking about Carrington. The transfer portal is getting out of hand, allowing these kids to just up and run to different school every year without consequences is starting to ruin the fan experience for me. They need to have some limitations on how
100%.
many times a player can transfer without having to sit out a year. The NCAA needs to protect their product. And
Agreed.
I could not agree with her
Agreed.
more, because when I grew up in an era where you were held accountable, you could not transfer. If you did,
Right.
you had to sit out a year.
Right.
So she goes on to say that I think there should be a one-time transfer. I don't even think there should be that, but we live in an age where we have to cater to everybody. So I get the one-time transfer. So you get one freebie. After that, you have to redshirt and you have to sit out a year.
I totally
agree.
agree with
I
that.
agree.
So that would cause Haley Van Lith to have had to sit out a year, and many
Twice.
others.
Yeah, twice. Well, she'd get the one transfer though. So she'd get the Louisville to LSU.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But the LSU to TCU, she
TCU.
would have had to sit out
Yeah.
a year.
So what say you guys about the portal?
I mean, I agree.
I mean, I think it's absolutely out of control. I think it's all about money, and I don't think college athletes, it should be all about money for them.
Nope.
I think it takes away from like the importance of recruiting, because
Yeah.
why bother? And
Exactly.
in my opinion,
Yeah.
but
Because they were even talking about, I forgot who they, transferring to USC for like a year, because you know that I forgot who they were talking about, but they were like, oh, maybe she should transfer to USC because Juju's not going to be there, so she'll be the starting person, and then that'll open up like other
Right.
opportunities for her. She'll just probably have
Well,
to transfer.
Wiley, is that who we were talking about
maybe.
to do that? Or they
Yeah.
were talking about doing that, like,
Yeah.
because Juju will be gone and she'll be
Yep.
the person.
Yep.
I don't know. I think it ruins everything.
I
think
agree.
it ruins. It just makes it all about money.
Yeah.
So you may as well be a professional athlete at that point.
Yeah. Again, yeah.
So
It's all about the.
We can also talk about, in the college football world, Nico
Yeah.
Iamaleava, if you would like to. And you can just call him Nico, because that's what everyone talks about on the ESPN shows and all that. He signed the most lucrative deal, and he really pretty much became the face of the NIL era. And now, heading into spring football, he is now the #1 transfer portal. He's #1 in the transfer
Right.
portal. And this is as you're heading into freaking spring football.
Yeah.
right.
He is seeking $4 million annually, which would mean he's
That's
doubling
wild.
what he
It's
made as
ridiculous.
a
That's
freshman.
wild.
Like, how can a college athlete demand money?
Right.
I just don't understand. And he's not even that good.
He's not
Like,
bad.
I mean, he's not
He's
bad,
not
but he's
bad.
not
Yeah.
like
Right.
Yeah, he's not like the next Heisman
correct
trophy winner.
Correct.
He will probably end up at UCLA or USC because they have the money. UCLA just gave, I have his name in here somewhere, Donovan Dent, $3 million
Yeah.
to transfer into the basketball program at UCLA. So if anyone has the money, he
And again,
cannot go to an SEC team, though. Do you know this?
No.
No, I do
If
not.
he a player who enters a transfer portal during the spring window out of the SEC must sit out the following season if they choose to go to an SEC team within the conference. So the SEC, and I don't know
So
if
it's like a
other
no-compete
conferences-
clause?
Right, yeah, basically.
I was fascinated by that. So he will
Interesting.
not be going to an SEC team, which means they're the most powerful conference in all of college football.
Because we've talked about it recently over the last like year about parity and how
Right.
nice it is to have parity in sports again. And
Right.
this is just completely throwing that because you're
Right.
going to have the big schools having all of the stars again.
Right.
You
And
can build
that's
your,
just not
You can build
fun.
your super teams like
Exactly.
like the NBA does.
Yeah.
Like
That's not fun.
it's not fun. No.
I just think it's a shame. You got $2 million as a freaking freshman, so it means you're 18 years old.
Yeah.
And you got $2 million.
Right.
And you know
and
what?
now
That's
you
gonna
want
lead to
$4 million.
trouble. It's going to lead
Yeah.
to trouble. Kid with that much money,
Yeah.
it's going to lead to trouble.
Which leads me to give all the kudos in the world to Nick Saban, a coach that I've never cheered for once. I have a ton of respect for. But after how many national championships and how many years of coaching, he retired because he didn't want to deal with this bullshit.
Yeah.
Don't blame him.
And he knew what was coming. And he said, I'm not doing this. I will sell my brand. I will sell my program, but I'm not going to pay kids to come here. And Rick Pitino is saying the same thing. So for a 59-year-old who has grown up in a sports household, it leaves a really bad taste in my mouth. And I love college sports more than I love professional sports.
Same.
So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know when they're going to draw a line. I know a lot of professional athletes are asking them to draw the line somewhere.
And where's the money coming from? Like, where's the money coming from?
These Texas oilmen is what I'm going to say. It's your boosters.
Yeah.
It's your boosters. It really is. They have very, very deep pockets. They
Yeah.
really, truly do. So I don't know if you guys have anything else to throw in about the portal. I just think it's gotten out of hand. I want no part of it, but you know what? That's the way the world's going. And we live in a very effed up society, so it really doesn't surprise me that we're headed that way. WNBA fun fact. 105 of the 132 players in the WNBA right now will all be free agents following the
Yep.
2025 season.
Holy
And is it only like 2 of them are like the ones that aren't, the ones that have contracts through there, only 2 of them aren't rookies.
Oh, I don't know that.
Yep.
That I don't
Oh, wow.
know.
Yep. So most of the ones who are in contract through the end of this year, it's just because they're on the rookie deal, except
That's
for 2.
insane.
And I think one of them is Jackie Young.
Oh boy.
And it's like she goes through like the end of next year, and I was like, that's a decision. But yeah, but I think she's on a max contract anyway. But
I just thought that was a great stat. You know
Yeah.
how I love numbers. Let's talk about the WNBA draft, shall we? Did everybody watch it?
I watched some of it. Yeah,
Who was your favorite dressed person in the WNBA draft? Because
that's all they talk about is
Yeah.
the best dress.
I'm gonna go for someone who, well, I liked Kiki's.
I loved Kiki's.
Loved
Oh.
Kiki's,
Yep.
especially because she was representing Nigeria.
Yep, exactly.
So, and it was an unknown, but I don't know who else do you guys?
Dominique Malanga, I loved her outfit the best.
Yep.
She was one cool, smooth operator. And I will say this, she will be the best player in this draft.
She will be.
Oh yeah,
She will be. I think
Paige
Kiki.
Becker's, name me anybody,
Yeah.
I'm going with
Did you guys see
Malanga.
Kiki's
Malanga.
tweet where she was like, "Prayers up to so that I won't be the first WNBA
yeah, to
player
be dunked on. Yeah,
I was like, damn. I was like,
please, baby Jesus.
Yep. I was like, that's amazing.
She's the real deal.
She is the real deal.
And
She's gonna be something
She's gonna.
else.
I can't wait.
I think that Seattle got a gift when Olivia Miles
Said no.
Said
went back to
yeah.
college.
Yep.
Unless maybe they were going to go with
I know. Do you guys think that?
Malanga instead.
Do you think they would have stayed with her, or they would have went with Miles?
I sure know I would have.
But her with Nneka and Ezzy
Yeah.
is gonna be so
Nine-
fun.
Yeah.
She
So
is
fun
the
to watch.
youngest player drafted in the WNBA
19.
draft.
19.
I think that was one of the pictures we
So
had.
oh yeah. So if they're international, they can be younger than 22. I guess that means that's what
yeah.
that
Right.
means.
Yeah, that's what that
Right.
means. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what was the other picture we had? Oh, here we go. It goes right into our transfer portal. We have a picture of Olivia Miles in her TCU
Oh,
outfit.
yep.
Over 25% of Division I women's basketball players are now in the transfer portal.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
That's wild.
That's,
It's just.
If you
We're
think
not
about
gonna have a
all
show
of the
pretty
D1, if you think about all of the D1 players that there are,
Yeah.
that's insane. Think
So
about how
we
many
agree
D1
that-
players there are.
what, Kiki was best dressed? Is that where we're going with this?
I thought she looked great.
What do you think of some
Azzy-
of the
Azzy
outfits
was really
where
pretty.
everybody was trying to keep everything in? Why wear it then?
Yeah, Paige.
What's the point of wearing it?
Paige kept
Yeah. Like.
Because she wasn't comfortable.
No.
Yeah.
She.
No.
Yes. Thank
was
you.
not
She totally was
comfortable
not
at
comfortable
all.
in that. I'm like, why are you trying to be so girly?
exactly like just
Like that's not you.
Citrone,
Just be
I
you.
don't know what she was thinking.
I thought AZ Fudd was literally the best
Hey,
dressed one there.
see, I just said that.
We'll go with
she
that.
was so pretty.
So pretty.
We'll go
so
that.
pretty.
Yep.
I was like, oh my goodness.
Pretty and simple and
Yes,
wasn't trying to
exactly.
overdo it. I was
Right.
like, she
especially
to me
like
looked the best.
Right, especially considering like she wasn't in the draft, she was
Right,
just
just
attending.
there, yeah.
So the fact that like, yeah,
But yeah, I thought
Simple-
Paige Beckers
simple,
looked
elegant.
super uncomfortable.
I'm trying to think of the gal that, and I can't remember, I think she got drafted by the Connecticut Sun. Sania Rivers. Sania Rivers? Redhead.
Sanaya.
Red,
Sanaya.
Sanaya. She was pretty cool.
she is real.
She was
Yo,
she was pretty cool. And it's now turned
she's
into
NC State, right?
Huh?
Yo, she NC State,
NC
right?
State,
she
yeah.
was the
There's
she's a
two
friggin'
NC
dog.
State girls. Yeah, she is a
She's a
dog.
friggin' dog.
She really is a dog. The lottery picks in the 2025 NBA draft will earn, we're going to call it $79,000 in their rookie season. And 300, I'm going to round it up again, 350,000 over the length of their contract. Paige Becker's contract with Unrivaled is worth at
Yep.
least 350,000
for one
per
for
year.
one. And you know what?
Per year.
You know what's also really amazing about the Unrivaled contracts that I heard is that if they get injured in Unrivaled, Unrivaled will cover their WNBA
Oh, really? So their
salary.
contract, their salary?
contract, yeah, for that year. Yep,
Well, that's
I
impressive.
mean, I feel like that makes sense.
it does, but like not something they have to do.
Correct. No,
But we'll
absolutely.
definitely-
But it's a way to get more people to do it who want
Yeah.
like. I
Right,
understand
yeah.
not doing it because you didn't want to get you're afraid to get hurt or whatever. But that's yeah, they didn't
Yeah.
have to do that. So
They broke even this year, Unrivaled.
that,
yeah.
Financially, they broke
the
even.
first year.
It's your
pretty
first
good.
year.
That's pretty good.
Mickey Lawler knows that they're just going to go up from here. You'll boost the revenues next season by increasing the seating capacity, improving merchandise, selling more sponsors. It's all about sponsors and boosters, let me tell you this. The average salary, I didn't know that Breonna Stewart and Collier were the founders of Unrivaled.
Yes.
I did
Yep,
not know
yep.
that. So that's pretty cool. The first season, which did obviously have some hiccups, but the average salary for the 36 players was $222,000.
Damn.
So they're killing
And
it.
that's
and
like the
unrivaled.
that's a max contract for
Yep.
the W.
Yep. So they're killing it.
And like I said, they're getting proceeds from the jerseys that sell.
Right.
So
as they should.
Yep,
If
as they
Kiki
should,
was the
for
best dressed, other than Fudd, I mean, we'll wait to see what she looks like next year. What team killed it? I will tell you this.
The Mystics.
The Mystics.
The
yeah.
Mystics.
I love that you guys said that.
I loved all of their picks.
Every single one.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Everybody thinks I'm this big Aces fan because I cheer for them because of the coach,
Yep.
Coach Hammond. I will only cheer for one team this year, and it's the Mystic.
Yeah.
That is the only
Wow.
team you will see me cheer,
Yep.
die hard for. I just love the game. I watch the games because I'm a fan first and foremost. But I will wear my heart on my sleeve when I watch the Mystic. And I think what got me the most is my favorite player got drafted at number 6 by them, and I didn't even think she would get drafted.
That
until
was
the
so
end.
high for her.
I was shocked.
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 A 5'6" player
Yeah.
can
Yo, I
get
was
drafted.
so hyped. I
Yeah.
was so hyped.
And then what got me is obviously Citrone is amazing and was probably I think she is so undervalued in college basketball. I don't think she was talked about enough because Notre Dame was too busy talking about
Right, because she was
Hidalgo.
the-
Everybody
yeah.
that was a fan of Notre Dame talked about her first and
then
Miles
Miles,
second.
yeah.
So I feel like she got overlooked. So for her to be the 3rd pick in the draft, Kiki, I think, matched up with Edwards, is going to kill it
Oh
in that
man,
front
that's
court.
gonna be yeah, that's gonna be fun.
And then the 23rd pick in the draft came, and I literally almost ran up the street just shouting to the top of my lungs. Do you know who that was? Do you know who that was? Lucy Olson.
Oh yes,
Oh,
that's
yes,
right.
yes.
I saw that. Yes,
Yep.
yes.
So once Lucy Olson went to the Mystics, I was like 4 for 4.
Yep.
Seriously,
Yep.
4 for 4. And of course, Citrone is probably one of the best players in the draft because she plays
All
defense.
around.
Right.
She's all
She
around.
plays defense.
Great player.
So they got an A- from, I
They
think
had a
this
fantastic
was
draft.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
ESPN that gave them the A-, but I thought
They did
they got
Amor.
an A+.
Did you see they did Amor dirty at one point? They put her in between I forgot who it was, but it was like two 6'2" lady, and they're like, "Oh, put your arms around their waist," and she's like, "Dude, that's my neck."
She's like wrapped around their kneecap.
Right.
And then I liked it when they showed the war room for the Washington Mystics, and then I had to back up and look at it again. Because who's sitting straight across the camera is Elena Deladon.
I was just gonna
Does
say.
anybody know
Yeah.
her role with the Mystics?
I don't.
Neither do I. But it was great to see her sitting in their war room.
Yep.
So I'd say let's give her a assistant coach or assistant GM. She's got to be one of those for sure. So ESPN gave the only A+ to the Dallas Wings.
I mean,
Which, in my eyes, how the
mean-
hell do you F up your draft?
Right.
You have the number 1 pick in the draft.
Right.
So that's taking the wimpy way out,
Yeah,
if you ask
100%.
me.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean,
the bar was low.
yeah.
Yeah.
We're super low. You had the first pick. So.
Isaiah James was our second pick. That
Yeah.
was the other NC State player who was absolutely fabulous as well. I thought their best pick was Von Lay from Baylor. She's the center from Baylor. She was their 31st pick, and that girl's tough.
Karen says she's heading up the youth programs for the Mystics.
That's what Elena Deladon is doing.
Yep.
That's freaking
Also,
amazing.
before Joe Edson's in the house, he said, "Evening, ladies.
Joe.
Great weekend for sports. Go Paige Beckers." And then Michael Orton, we'll get to your. He's got an NFL draft day question.
Orty,
so
we will
we'll
get to the
it.
NFL.
We'll
I
get to
promise you that. And actually, one of my rapid fires, Orty, does involve your Commanders as well. So it gave the Mystics an A-. And I thought there was another A before we get on to some of the other. I think maybe that was it.
Who else got the draft?
Oh, I'm sorry, the Connecticut Sun. Who
Right.
probably
'Cause they got Morrow, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Because here's the deal with the Mystics, here's the deal with the Wings, and here's the deal with the Suns. They're obviously picking high for a reason. They lost a lot of games last year. But these college players can make these teams.
Oh, yes.
You can
yeah.
go 3 rounds. They have
Yep.
a lot of holes to fill on their roster. And I thought for the Connecticut Sun, if it wasn't the Mystics having the best draft, I thought the Connecticut Sun were right there because Anisha Morrow should not have fallen to that 7th pick.
No,
No.
she's amazing.
But it's all about
The fit.
the fit. So the fact that Anisha Morrow lasted to the Connecticut Sun pick, I think they ran that. That only took them 10 seconds
Yeah.
to make
Oh,
that
yeah.
pick.
They were probably like, oh yeah.
And Rivers from NC State was their second
Yeah.
pick. So those two are going to play a ton.
Oh, yep.
And if you take away the face of the franchise, who's the one that went to Phoenix? That was on Connecticut. I can only see her face. I can't come up with her name right now.
From Connecticut.
Alyssa Thomas.
Thomas.
Oh, yeah.
Anisha Morrow is the same
The
type
same
of
thing.
player,
Same
only
thing. Same thing.
better.
Way
Yes,
better.
she has
Oh,
a
way
jump
better.
shot.
Way
Yeah.
better.
And I
She's
don't
got two
wanna-
working shoulders.
I was going to say I don't
Also,
want to.
that too.
I don't want to pick on Thomas for not having,
That's true.
But
Very
shoulders
true.
are stupid. So.
Shoulders are stupid.
So we agree on that. And then coming in with the 4th best pick, 4-5, was the Indiana Fever and the Seattle Storm. For the Fever, it's kind of a quiet draft because they already have the pieces in
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
But Michaela Timpson from Florida State and Bree Hall from South Carolina
Yes.
are going to add
They're-
a lot to
Yeah, they
that
are.
team.
Well, they only have a spot for one.
Right.
Right. Well, good luck then.
Yeah.
In my eyes, Timpson gets the edge because she is a solid power forward.
Yeah.
If you want to,
You know
if
who's-
you want a double machine, she's it.
You know who I was a little surprised about is the Valkyries picks.
Yeah.
They-
Well, I think
still-
they got the worst grade, actually.
Yeah, because they still stayed very foreign. You know what? And they
but we don't know, do we?
Right, and
We
I
don't
read
know these international players.
right, and I read somewhere where they were kind of more hedging their bets on let's get through to the next CBA. Everyone's going to be a free agent, and then let's bring them to California.
Yeah, yeah. And the other thing when you're reading it is it's hard to evaluate because you haven't seen this team play yet.
Yeah.
And, they've thrown a whole bunch of prospects together. And I think it just shocked everybody that they went international with that first
Yeah.
pick.
Yeah.
Especially
When
'cause-
Anisha Morrow was sitting there.
Yeah, because I was shocked by
me
that.
too, and especially because the expansion draft they also went very, very heavily international.
So they know something we don't know,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean, I wouldn't put it past them. Yeah.
Yeah, but they definitely were the ones that got the lowest grade. But,
Yep.
like the article says, we won't really be able to draft them until,
Yeah.
well,
We
the
see-
season's
we see-
over.
yeah.
Right.
We look
Yeah.
at the next WNBA draft.
Yep.
One of my favorite picks, I mean, I know I've said that 5 times already, was Sarah Ashley Barker, though.
Yes.
Loved
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Solid. Solid.
When they took her, I said, way to do, your scout team did a good job.
Exactly.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
you could have gone with a lot of, Haley Van Lith was still
Oh, yep.
was still sitting there as well. I think Sarah Ashley Barker is as tough as they come.
When you hit 3
Yeah.
free throws
Yeah.
at
no
the end
time
of
left,
regulation to get
you are
into
a
overtime.
mentally tough bitch.
Exactly.
Exactly.
You are a tough
I was
badass.
like, damn.
And
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but did you see the build on her too?
Yeah.
I saw it
Yeah.
in that Maryland game, and
Yeah.
I'm like, that's who you want on your team.
Yeah.
And then when you get interviewed, because they all got interviewed by Holly Rowe, when you get interviewed and she talks about that double overtime game with Maryland, and she says, girl, you are made of steel from the inside out. Where did you get that from? She thought she was going to say her dad, and she said, my mom.
Yeah.
She's my hero and my
Yeah.
best friend.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is freaking amazing.
Yeah.
That I will
I
cheer
was so
for the
happy for her.
Sparks.
So happy
Me
for her.
too. Me too.
And I think the Sparks, obviously, you've got to get back Cameron Brink, which
Yeah.
probably won't be until June, because again, the season does start in a month. I like
crazy.
the Aces going out and getting Aaliyah Nye, the shooter from
Yep.
Alabama. Again, don't know if these players will make the team. And Harmony Turner,
Karen,
the 21
I-
points a game
I
from
immediately-
Harvard.
I immediately texted Karen.
Oh my God. Absolutely awesome. I was worried she wasn't going to get drafted.
Yeah.
And again, if she doesn't make the team,
Yeah.
you go overseas.
Right.
Yeah.
But we also have 2 more teams
Yep.
that are joining.
Next year. Yeah.
I couldn't remember
How-
the teams.
how-
Toronto and
Toronto and
couldn't
Oh,
come up with the
shit.
second one when
Oh,
somebody
shit.
asked me today.
oh,
That's how I felt about Caitlin Chen. I was super happy to see Caitlin Chen.
so
Yes.
happy.
Yes.
So happy to see
It
her
was
drafted.
like Kate Martin 2.0.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
the same situation.
And the team that didn't give 2 shits
Yeah.
was the Minnesota Lynx.
Yeah.
They trade.
I mean,
they're
why
the
would you?
ones. They traded that pick.
They trade every year
Yeah.
before.
They traded the pick to Chicago so they could get Van Lith.
Yeah.
And the players they took, the first one was from Russia. She'll probably stay overseas. And I'm like, they really don't care.
They don't need anybody.
Exactly.
They really don't.
And honestly, I like their trade with Chicago because next year's going to be a much deeper draft.
Yes.
And
yes.
I think they'll I think that was a strong trade for them.
When you don't need anything, you then trade
Yeah.
for the future,
Yeah.
in case you do. And then
Exactly.
you just keep on trading.
Yep.
You know? I thought it was a great draft. I couldn't remember, is this the first draft that had 3 rounds to it?
No, I think last year had.
Did it?
Yeah, because
Last year
yeah.
had
Did it?
I think so.
I think so. Maybe
I
not.
thought it was 2, and I just couldn't
Jen?
remember.
Jen?
Jen Isobel, answer first, please.
So next Wednesday, we will do our own mock draft. We will have the first 12 picks of the draft. We'll have the big board set up somewhere in here. I told you guys months ago that it's just what I call it. It's like playing the stock market.
Yes.
That all you were hearing from the quarterback position was Cam Ward only, and a little bit of Shedeur, or a lot of bit of Shedeur Sanders. Nobody's talking about Shedeur Sanders anymore at all. And now all of a sudden the Giants are bringing him
Yep.
back
Yep.
in
I
for
saw
a
that.
workout.
Yeah.
I was like,
Cleveland's bringing him back in for a
God
workout,
damn it, Giants.
and I think it's a smokescreen. I really
I
do
do
think
too.
it's
Oh,
a
I
smokescreen.
100%
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah.
So the only players that I'm hearing about in the last 48 hours are Tyler Shugg and Will Howard.
Tyler Shugg is crawling. I mean, he's not crawling. He's sprinting up the.
You've been
draft
talking
board.
about him for weeks.
Like sprinting.
One of the, I think it was Rossini said, she spoke to one executive who said he is the best quarterback in the draft.
Damn.
He will be 26 when the season starts. He's on his 3rd college team when he played for Louisville this last year.
Still younger than Bo Nix.
Yeah,
Still
and
younger than Bo Nix. All that
NFL
matters.
Live said we don't care about ages anymore because now you have
Clearly.
experience. And I'm like, okay. So I ask you guys this with a rapid answer. How many quarterbacks get drafted in round 1?
I'm gonna say 2.
Okay.
2.
Mm-hmm.
Only 2?
Only 2.
I'm going to go 3 just because
I
of
was
the
gonna
way
go
Shug
3.
is.
I was going to go 3.
I'm gonna go 2. And Shug really early round 2.
So the one who hasn't gone up and down is Jackson Dart. Everyone still
Yeah.
loves him, and I don't.
I mean,
I
think-
like him. You
yeah.
know, I like him,
Yeah.
but I still think
I bet we'll be surprised. I bet there'll be 4. Like maybe Milrow will go, or like I don't know. I don't know.
think what could happen is if the Giants and the Cleveland Browns don't go quarterback, they're either going to trade back into the end of round 1, or you're just going to see these quarterbacks taken
Right.
with the
Yeah.
first and second pick of round 2.
Of round 2.
Yeah, I
And
Yeah, for
Jalen
sure.
Milrow is in there as well. Jackson Dart. Somebody's gonna fall for Jackson Dart too. I don't know. Last year I know there was 6 really good quarterbacks. This year, I feel like there's 2 good
I agree.
quarterbacks.
Yep.
As much as I love Jackson Dart,
Yeah.
I still think he needs to sit somewhere for a year
Yes.
or 2.
Agreed.
I'm going to give you a couple more rapid fire. What's going on with Derek Carr? Is he seriously dealing with a shoulder injury? Or is he trying to find his way out of New Orleans because he fears he's going to fall into the Kirk Cousins syndrome?
I mean,
He had all season to get
yeah.
surgery.
Everyone's saying Shedeur Sanders to New Orleans.
Yep.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I mean, if
That's
I'm
a lot
Derek
of
Carr,
pressure.
I'm
That's a
thinking,
lot of pressure.
yeah, you're absolutely right. It's the same situation
Yeah.
as Kirk Cousins with Michael Penix coming
Just
in.
like on
It's
a-
like, yeah,
They're ready to pull
the
you.
leash
Yeah.
is this big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
will be this big for him,
Yep.
and
I don't know where the shoulder injury come
Right,
from. All of a
right,
sudden,
right,
That
right.
his options are surgery.
Right.
So is he going to wait to see if Shedeur Sanders gets
right, and
drafted?
then he'll be
say-
like, oh yeah, I'm gonna.
the NFL teams, executives thought he was, because they told him he could facilitate a trade, and that's where I think we thought he was going all off season was via the trade route. What are the Giants doing at 3 right now? How do you feel? Is it a pick between Bing and Bing, or is it quarterback?
I'd say it's not
I
quarterback.
don't think it's quarterback.
It would be stupid for them to be
I would
quarterback.
be so pissed.
I would be very pissed. Like,
it's a
wait till the
quarterback.
second round, or
I
even the
agree.
third round.
I agree.
I think it's The Giants, to me, it depends on who Cleveland takes.
Exactly.
Oh,
100%.
absolutely.
If they take
100%.
But no
Hunter-
quarterback. You guys are going no
No,
quarterback.
if they take Hunter, we take Carter. If
Yep.
they take Carter, we take
Take
Hunter.
Hunter. Yep.
That's
I have a feeling that we're probably going to end up with Carter.
I do too,
But-
and I'm fine with it.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely.
I mean, because like they said
I'll
on Get Up today, like the Giants passed on Micah Parsons, so you kind of got to make up for that.
Yeah,
and
that's
you
gotta
can't-
hurt.
Yeah, you
That's
can't make-
really gotta
yeah,
hurt.
right?
Ashton Genty, do you guys know a lot about him? The running back from Boise
Boise
State.
State.
Just a stud. He's just a stud. Does he go? Well, let me give you this fact first. There's only been running back selected in the top 10 since 2015. There's only been 6 since 2016
Wow.
that have gone in the top 10 because, as Dan Orlovsky would said, it's all about the fit. So it's been Todd Gurley, Ezekiel Elliott, Christian McCaffrey, Leonard Fournette, Leonard Fournette, Saquon Barkley, and Bijan Robinson in 2023. Does Ashton Genty get drafted in the top 10?
I think there is a possibility. Yes.
I think he does.
I'm trying to think of who the rest of the teams are.
Yeah.
And when Mel Kiper has a hissy fit, which he does, and I love it when he does, and I think Dan Orlovsky as well, when they talk, it's all about the fit. If you're going to draft a stud running back that came up 20 yards short of Barry Sanders' collegiate record, he's a stud.
Yes.
He has, I'll give you this stat. CB, you're going to love this one. So he had over 2,000 rushing yards. 1,700 of those 2,000 were after contact.
Which is crazy.
Yes. Let's go.
That's insane,
Yeah,
right?
let's go. That's wild.
Absolutely
That's wild.
insane. But if you're picking in the top 10, you're not very good, which means your offensive line
Line's
isn't
not-
very
yeah.
good. So that's where Kiper and Orlovsky have their fits. They
Yeah.
just go, you're going to put a stud behind no offensive line.
I mean, look at Barkley.
Yeah.
And Barry Sanders had to fight for his life.
Yes, he did.
He really did have
Most
to
of
fight
his yards
for
were
Yeah.
his life.
after contact.
What team is a player or two away in the draft from making a serious run at the Super Bowl? Washington, Detroit, or Denver?
Ooh.
And I mean, a couple of key players in the draft that they're missing.
Ooh, those are. Oh.
This is where I hope Ordy's still listening. Ordy, come on. I think it's Washington.
Me too.
And you notice I
But-
said Detroit.
Yeah.
I also
Yeah.
have Cincy in there, but I think they're more than one or two.
They are.
Yeah, 100%,
They're a
100%.
handful of defensive players away.
100%.
Yes.
But
Yeah. Yeah. That's tough. That's tough.
I don't know. I
I'm
really
testing
like
you guys
I
on your
really
Detroit
like,
Lions.
I know.
I know.
Because they could get the one or two players, and they get Aiden Hutchinson back.
Well, that's
That's
was
the
what I was
thing.
thinking.
That's
Like they
the
get
thing.
him back, and if they can get him some
But
help
what about the rest of their
on the other
defense?
side?
So are you guys all going Washington with me? Or are you going Detroit? Or are you going Denver?
I really like Denver. I really like Denver.
Denver's got a great defense.
I really like Denver.
So you're going Denver?
I'm gonna go Denver.
I'm going Washington?
I'll do Detroit. I think. Yeah.
Okay, we're all going to go with a different
Yeah.
team. And on that note, I see a Coach Pelkey around the corner.
Holy shit!
Get over here.
Hold on. Wait,
We'll take a 30-second timeout. Actually, we don't even timeout. Coach Pelkey,
Take
right
a seat.
there.
Take a seat.
There is your see your little
No,
yeah. No, we're good.
She's giving
We're
her a hug.
Nope, you're not allowed to give her a hug yet.
after.
No, I can't see her on the.
Oh, all
That's
right.
okay. You don't need to see me.
That's why I needed a 30
Just a voice.
Is it a podcast?
Which one do you need turned?
I feel so special. I'm included.
Are we still on?
Yes.
Okay, well then I could have.
That's okay.
I just want to welcome in dear friend, coworker, Coach Pelkey from the Spalding Crimson Tide. Welcome to the show,
It's a good
friend.
thank you. I'm so excited
I'm
to
shocked
be
you came
here.
after
Nancy
having to deal with me all day.
Nancy Mahoney's in the house.
Oh wait, hang on. I gotta answer this.
You got to answer the phone. She's going to answer the phone on the air. We've never had anyone do
Hey,
that
what's
before.
up?
Hey, oh my gosh, did you know it's Charlotte's birthday today?
Oh my God, the puppy! Oh my God, the dog's here too! Oh my God! Well done. Well
That was great.
That
That was nicely done.
Jordan, you're amazing. You are amazing.
Look at the puppy.
Look at Norma. Oh my God.
Oh, we should have taken pictures.
Dog.
With that, I think the show is done.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna need.
You'll have to come back next time.
Actually, can
I know, we can talk
I'll
about it later.
actually let you talk next time.
if we're still on the air, the reason that there's a lot of people here right now is because CB would celebrate everybody's birthday. And she would never tell us when her birthday was.
She would never. And I have Jordan on the phone.
I feel so betrayed. I feel so betrayed.
Woohoo!
CB, did you celebrate everyone's birthday in this room at one point?
Yeah.
And did we ever celebrate your birthday?
No, because I refuse to tell anyone.
Exactly.
You knew though at some point. I don't know how you.
Kate
found out.
Gaylord knew as well because you told her.
In my going away card. In my going.
CB, you can trust no one. You
can trust no one.
No one.
So basically, the most important thing about having a show today was to celebrate you.
Happy birthday, CB.
Happy birthday, CB. Happy birthday. And with that note, we'll be back next Wednesday, same bat time, same bat channel at 5:30. And I think CB will be here. We almost got you in tears.
She may have quit.
I am.
Anybody else know how to do
Got her in
IT?
tears.
No.
Jordan, we got her in tears. We've done our job.
I feel so betrayed.
I
Thanks
feel
for
really
tuning
honored that
in.
we surprised her.